The soldier dug a hole in the ground with a shovel. He then buried a bundle of grenades in the dirt. A large group of Japanese soldiers was charging toward them. The man saw the Japanese troops closing in. He quickly connected a string to the pull ring of the grenade. Before the enemy reached him, he lay down beside it and tightly gripped the string before the enemy got any closer. When the enemy charged into the trench, he decisively pulled the fuse. Although the leading Japanese soldiers were wiped out, more Japanese soldiers were charging forward, but Jack was well prepared. He had already set up 2 heavy machine guns in the trench. As the Japanese soldiers jumped into the trench, the gunners didn't hesitate to pull the triggers. After this battle, half of the Japanese vanguard had been wiped out. Seeing this, the captain immediately ordered all soldiers in the regiment to fire. The Japanese soldiers had no place to hide. The Japanese officer at the rear was stunned upon seeing this. He never expected that his proud regiment would be so easily defeated. Facing the well-equipped Chinese special forces, his troops had no ability to fight back. When it seemed the Japanese soldiers were almost all eliminated, the special unit soldiers rushed out of the trench, brandishing their sabers, ready for close combat. Soon, the first wave of charging Japanese soldiers was wiped out. The Japanese officer wanted to organize a second attack, but the commanding officer nearby planned to retreat. It was almost dark, and there was no need to waste time on meaningless charges. The Japanese officer still wanted to make one last attempt. The commanding officer told him that the casualty ratio was now close to 1-to-1, and he didn't want to waste any more time here. Some may not know, but at the beginning of the Second Sino-Japanese War, the casualty ratio between the Chinese and Japanese forces was an astonishing 6-to-1. For a special unit to achieve such results was already impressive. The battlefield was littered with bodies, but one Japanese officer had survived. Jack walked up to him calmly. The Japanese officer was clearly panicked, but he still tightly gripped his knife, refusing to surrender. Seeing the officer take 2 shots, the soldiers' faces showed no emotion, but the Japanese officer was stubborn. Even though he could barely stand, he still refused to drop the knife. Without hesitation, Jack quickly dealt with him. After the victory, Jack happily marched to the command post, but as soon as he entered, he was seized by the guards. It turned out that the commander had just issued orders for him to retreat, but he had disobeyed, leading the special unit soldiers back into battle. Although they won, he had still defied orders. To uphold military discipline, the commander decided to send Jack to the military court. Before dark, he would be executed.